determined to roam free. Of course, they weren't always welcome.
Why do you stop us?
Because no gypsies can enter Paris any longer without a permit. It's the new law.
If the others cannot too, why can't we?
They are Frenchmen. You're gypsies, foreigners.
Foreigners. You came yesterday. We come today.
But there always seemed to be that one farmer who would let the gypsies stay on his land. And when the Dead and their followers came to Indiana this year, that farmer was Philip White.
If I can take my kids, you have a group of church people or something, and I can take my kids and I can walk through there and feel comfortable, that's fine. Now, if you had some heavy metal rock group or something like that, I say, no way. If I can't go out there with my kids, you know, the only problem they had there, they've had 2 dog fights. Now, it was a pretty bad fight this morning, you know what I mean? One dog chased that guy off a hill, you know, dog chased, and that's all we had.
I know.
I swear to God.
Now, there's a good old-fashioned McCoy-Hatfield type of land dispute going on over these few acres, and it was brought to Farmer White's attention that the land was not zoned for camping. He couldn't charge people to camp there. No problem, said Farmer White. This was merely a picnic area, and donations would be accepted.
If I want to have a picnic, we'll have a picnic. And, buddy, we've had a lot of fun. My kids been out there, camped out all night. There's one, my youngest, there's the neighbor. You guys on TV? Ryan, did you have fun?
Yep.
Come here and tell them you had fun. They've been on TV, but we all had fun.
Yeah, they sang happy birthday to me. Real nice. They had, some of them had long beards. That'd be funny. I tell you, my eyesight and my hearing is bad. But my body, the rest of my body is pretty good shape yet.
And it was Grandma White's birthday. She turned 91 while the Dead were in town and traveled down to the campsite, picnic grounds, to check things out.
One with the long beard loved me and took my picture, and he was clean. He didn't smell. But he had this long beard and long hair. And you wonder why. I asked some of them why they wore their hair that way. They said they always hadn't. If they wasn't that way, they wouldn't look so happy if they didn't have that hair stringing around. But don't print that.
That hair gives them a bad...
I'll choke you the second time.
Noblesville, Indiana, population about 18,000. Farmer White's generosity took some of the burden off of this small Indiana town, because when the Grateful Dead play at Deer Creek Music Center, the Deadheads descend upon Noblesville looking for a place to set up camp. And while Deadheads are some of the best people you'll ever meet when it comes to cleaning up after themselves, special arrangements still had to be made. This included creating camping facilities where none had previously existed.
Now, there's a downside to these people that we have to always consider, and we wish that they didn't do some of the things that they do. But overall, they're good visitors, and so that's how we looked at it. For the merchants, they create a lot of dollars in our community, and it seemed to us better to welcome them, manage it, and make a pleasant experience out of it for everyone, including the people who live here, which was our #1 concern. We don't want to disrupt our citizens, than trying to keep them out. So we took the positive approach.
We do not have a campground. We should not open our park for camping to the Deadheads if we don't open it to every other group that wants to come in. When the central...
Noblesville Councilman Doug McDonald has no special affection for the Grateful Dead, and he doesn't feel exceptions should be made for Deadheads.
There are also a greater per capita of Deadheads who become a part of our city's culture during the time that they're in town, who bring illegal drugs, than is the case any other time of the year. I think it's an issue of, do we want to, is that really acceptable for us? And for me, it's illegal, and it shouldn't be accepted. We shouldn't blink our eyes. If we're going to have them in town, then we should arrest every one of them that has 1 ounce of illegal controlled substances and put them in jail.
But Noblesville Police Chief Tim Garner actually looks forward to visits from the Deadheads, not so he can arrest them, but because he likes meeting new and different people.
I don't think it was a bad experience. I think the officers look forward to him coming. They get a chance to meet people that they don't deal with on a daily basis, and I wouldn't say that we shouldn't have them back. I think it was a pleasant experience. Just the crowd, I think, is the biggest part that we have, the biggest trouble that we have with the double the size of the town maybe in the 3-day period.
You know, there's an old adage from the 60s. You're either on the bus or off the bus. Those on the bus affirmed and celebrated some of that good old-fashioned 60s weirdness. But it left those off the bus befuddled or filled with fear and loathing. And the old adage seems to hold true today, because there are those who are genuinely afraid of the Grateful Dead and whatever it is they represent, and others who simply can't wait for the night's first note.
A good place to go to get your dose of psychedelia. And I got to admit, that attracted me to him right from the beginning.
Oh, the Deadheads are coming. And so then what we hear is, you know, they were very polite. They were very nice. I don't have a problem with any of them.
So it seems the Grateful Dead have little to do with the Grim Reaper. Still, death has touched this band over its almost 3 decades. Keyboardists Ron Pigpen McKernan, Keith Godshaw, Brent Midland, and others have all been casualties of this vector. But it hasn't daunted other band members, and that includes the 2 new keyboardists, Bruce Hornsby and our good buddy Vince. And it may sound surprising, but noted mythologist Joseph Campbell was apparently on the bus. He attended a Dead show shortly before his death and said the performance turned on life energy, proclaiming the event a wonderful, fervent loss of self in the larger self of a homogeneous community. Pretty heavy stuff.
We're all going to the top, wherever that is, top of the heap. I don't see any end to it. I mean, who wants to retire, and who wants to stop having fun?